Welcome back to the Newsfeed Late Night. Your reporting continues. The Department of Home Affairs revealed that after numerous investigations conducted by the department's Counter-Corruption Unit, they found that dubious visas, permits and specialized citizenships which were irregularly granted were quite prominent. And the department is saying they're going to be doing something about that. Well, we're joined now by the Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi. Minister, good evening and thank you very much for your time tonight on the Newsfeed Late Night. I know you called the press conference to tell us the news about what you discovered about those passports and permits and citizenships that were irregularly issued. But, of course, the issue of Atul Gupta then became the focus of a lot of the questions that then came forward to you. But let's talk about the revelations that came out of your investigation by the Anti-Corruption Unit.
Good evening, Thabo, and good evening to the viewers and listeners out there. Thank you very much for having me on your program, Thabo. Indeed, I did not call the press conference about the Guptas. I called them about some other important things. I got disappointed when the Gupta seems to be the main topic in the newsrooms. But anyway, be that as it may, yes, I was coming to announce a task team. I mean, actually two task teams. One on the review of permits that have been issued by the department from 2004. 2004 being the year in which the Immigration Act, Act number 13 of 2002, came into operation. And so we said all those type of visas must be reviewed, because during the course of investigations, we found that there are lots of things that do not make us comfortable. And that's why we wanted all those visas to be reviewed.
And visas being reviewed actually means what? All the visas that have been issued from which particular period to which particular period, what would those visa holders need to do?
Well, they don't need to do anything. We have got files. We just want the team of experts, which I've announced, to go through all the files and see if the visas were issued regularly in a way that a visa should be issued, or whether there was it was irregular, it was corrupt, or it was in a way that it should not have happened.
Yeah.
During the course of investigations by the Anti-Corruption Unit, they've discovered that 2/3 of all their investigations is about immigration issues. Immigration issues where permits are issued, visas and all that. And that's why we thought it's something worth pursuing.
So that is in the view of reducing the workload, I suppose, for the Anti-Corruption Unit?
Well, you see, the Anti-Corruption Unit investigates when they are tipped. And you get tipped by somebody who could have come across that type of information. Our question is, what about where there's nobody has tipped us? It was done in such a clean, corrupt job that nobody was aware of it. So it's better to move in. I think what also pushed us, Thabo, was that during the course of, in November, the Anti-Corruption Unit was involved in some high-powered investigation, which we'll still have to announce. During that investigation, the people working in the permitting unit wrote to the HR section and lodged a grievance and said that is harassment. I mean, you are telling a person who is hired to investigate. When that person is investigating and asking you a question, you lodge a grievance and you say it's harassment. We ignored it. But then 14 people in that unit wrote a petition. In the petition, they were demanding that the Anti-Corruption Unit must stop investigating their errors.
Yeah.
That is what scared me the most. In simple language, somebody who is given the job of issuing permits is telling you that, look, I'm committing errors, but stop investigating them.
Yeah.
And
are they errors, Minister, or are they deliberate?
Exactly my point, Thabo. Exactly my point. Perhaps my suspicion is that they call them errors because they know the word corruption is very heavy, and they didn't want to call attention of the country towards themselves. They prefer to call them errors, as if when you say this is an error, then it will be acceptable. Now, my question is, how many of the permits they issued are actually errors, which they say must not be investigated?
Well, what will that then compel you to do? I mean, it means there are a number of officials that are on your payroll which you might need to investigate. If found guilty, actually then issue sanctions against.
Indeed, indeed. So the team will investigate, are these really errors, and if they are errors, how do they get corrected? If they are corruption, who gets charged? And can we withdraw them? Indeed, because Thabo, remember, there's a corrupt and a corruptee. If the officials in the department have been corrupted, they are corruptees, there must be a corrupter. That's why today I made a statement, Thabo, and I want to repeat it, that the country generally concentrates and focuses on somebody who crosses the border, the Limpopo River or the Carleton River or through Mbuzini, because they are hungry, they want to come here, sneak in, buy bread or meal and cross back to their countries, or cross over to come and find some job in a farm and cross over. Of course, South Africans are complaining because that is illegal, it's done illegally. But no focus has been paid on somebody wearing a suit, a very expensive suit, having a briefcase, coming through an aeroplane, through a passport, and even a normal passport, coming in carrying a briefcase full of money and wishing to do some business in the country, and decide to cut corners by corrupting Home Affairs officials, or somebody coming in wearing high heels, very expensive high heels, with a very expensive handbag, and suddenly got documents by cutting corners because they could bribe Home Affairs officials. We've never paid attention to those. And I think this task team I've put up is going to pay special attention to those type of people.
Now, talking then of teams that you have assembled, you've also then revealed that you have secured top counsel to fight the matter of Atul Gupta wanting to be reissued with a South African passport in court. On what grounds are you denying Atul Gupta to get the passport? Is he not a South African citizen?
Well, he is a South African citizen, Thabo, but we believe citizens have got both rights and obligations, and we think certain obligations have not been carried on. But Thabo, this matter is going to court. Please allow me not to say everything here, because the matter is going to court in a way sub judice, but we believe we have got a case to put in front of the court through our senior counsel.
So as the department, you are firm on that idea that he shouldn't get that passport. But what have you done, I mean, as far as the issue of the citizenship, to revoke his citizenship, if that's what you want to do?
Well, we haven't yet revoked citizenship. We just saying people who apply to get passport, that's a benefit of a citizen. But citizens also have got obligations. And you are aware that the Department of Justice, Correctional Services and Constitutional Development, the minister has got certain issues with the Guptas. And we think, well, anyway, we believe they must answer to all those questions before, like any other citizen, they get the benefits of being a citizen.
Yeah. So you're taking it, I mean, without revealing too much detail of your case, then as a corrective measure to say, well, we'll withhold this until you correct your actions, and then maybe we will then consider renewing your passport.
Well, in a way, Thabo, we are doing that because we think the country must be respected. I know your station was speaking to one immigration expert who was answering to one of your colleagues, I think it's Stephen Clodes, yes, who was asking this question about obligations of people who might have run away from the country and hold up somewhere, whether the country has got the right to give them certain instructions, etc. And I did understand him, but I believe strongly so, Thabo, that if you are a citizen and you want benefits to a particular country, you must also respect that particular country. So your benefits must go on with your together with your obligations to the country.
Yeah. Your intentions might be noble, but are you not worried that you might be stuck in the legal process and the process that gives rights as opposed to the citizen to have his passport renewed?
Well, yes, you are right, Thabo. You know, we have been through many instances where, as Home Affairs, we are reeling under the issue of laws, where we believe we have got a case, and of course, we go to the courts, and they just ignore us. I mean, a case in point is about Bushiri, where we went to the courts to prove that, look, the documents he has got have been received irregularly, and he mustn't be given bail. I'm sure you are aware that we have been ignored by the magistrate. He was given bail. That is not the only case. We have had cases where we believe somebody stole our documents and got them fraudulently, but they are able to go to court and convince the judges that, no, it's not like that. We do have such cases in the Department of Home Affairs. We're studying them very carefully, and that's why for these particular visas I spoke about, I put in a team of experts. If you look at all those people in the team, firstly, we have got Dr. Lubisi, Cassius Lubisi, who for more than 10 years was the Director General, the most senior public servant in the whole of South Africa. And we believe that 10 years in terms of administration will help us. We also have somebody who was working in the SIU, who have got experience as an investigator, a forensic investigator, both in public and private, and who also worked overseas. We also have got a senior counsel who once acted as a judge, and another lawyer who is presently the chairperson of the Legal Services Council. And so we believe, and we have got Professor Somadoda Fikeni with university experience, who is a political analyst, but who's also working in the Public Service Commission. So the reason that we get all those people is to make sure that we don't trip when these people who are alleged rush to courts, because they will definitely rush to courts.
Mr. Appreciate your time and thank you very much for joining us. Home Affairs Minister there, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, assembling a team of senior counsel, but also some experts to help him in this particular case. But he's also put together a task team that is looking at rotten graft within the system, officials issuing permits irregularly. We'll get a chance to speak to him as well as soon as they get more details on that investigation. Well.